What's up, everyone? It's Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Fuck This Review, where today I'm going to be discussing JEEZY's new album, The Recession 2.
Being black, nigga, it's like a modern day crime.
Alright, to be truthfully honest with you, I'm going to just start it off, really honest. I don't like sequels to albums. I barely like them to movies, but I really just don't like sequels to albums. I can't name a sequel to a great album that I actually like. It's absolutely none. And I think, well, maybe this no, that don't count because Zeppelin got albums that's like Zeppelin 1, Zeppelin 2, Zeppelin 3, but that don't really count as a sequel. Yeah. So I just don't like, and it seems like it's like more current in rap and hip hop than anything. Just the because I think a rapper lifespan is very short. So if a rapper catch one where they like make a great album, they like try to recreate that in some capacity. Like even like Marshall Mathers LP 2 or Blueprint 2, 3, TM 102, 3, 4. Like just leave the great album to be great. But I'm a JEEZY fan. I've been a JEEZY fan since I was 15, since Trap or Die, the first mixtape. So I'll always give my legends I always give my legends a listen, no matter what stage they're in. If they meant something to me growing up, I'm gonna give them the ear. I'm gonna give them the stream. So that's just me though. Okay, so the first recession dropped in '08, and that was around the time, we went through a fucking United States recession. Obviously, if you were alive, you know how hard it was. Me, myself, I was just graduating from high school and going into the workforce or school, and it was just it was a fucked up time, bro. So the first recession was really great. The music was still great. But the with the recession is like it's a Jeezy album that's dictated towards for the time and people. That's why I think he called the recession too. I think it's a times are sort of, if not close to being similar, just people out of work, people losing homes, jobs, cars, stock market. Like stock market's not as bad as it was in the recession. The stock market's actually been booming, but in this case, I can understand why he called the recession too. Um, so the first song, "Oh Lord," as I'm getting into it, I was like, okay, this is cool. It's great to hear. Just it's good to see the old vets mature, and whether that's good or bad for the quality of music, which I'll get into. But it's good to see them. It's like as a fan, bro, I know for artists it gotta suck because it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you stay the same way that you were for the shit they love you, they say why you unchanged. But if you change, they ask you why are you changing. So I know that's always a weird place, but I appreciate Jeezy taking this step with this album, especially coming off. It was released the night of the versus battle against Gucci, and if everybody who's living seen the clip of Gucci, performing the Truth record, and if you familiar with the situation, you know how that played out. So to see how he was so mature in that, and to see the intro being this, and seeing the growth and maturity in Jeezy, I was like, okay, well that made sense. You know what I mean? That it's just good to see your artists, some of your favorites mature. That's pretty much what I'm saying. He gets into that, but then he goes into Here We Go, the next track, and it gives you that glimpse of that old Jeezy that we all love. Yeah, it gives you that glimpse. When it came on, I was like, this reminds me of the old Jeezy. The flow, the hook. I think he put that right after that song because he probably knew what some of his core fans would probably feel hearing that. Even though I think some of his core fans actually grew up with Jeezy and matured with him as well. I love he said he has a line on here that says real estate is the modern day flex. I forgot what song it's on. Oh, Modern Day. Yeah, Modern Day. Uh, Again, he goes into the political aspect and the shit that black people's going through. He got a song on here called Niggas. And I don't know, I feel kind of iffy on it because it's like at one hand I get it. Uh it's basically for those who haven't heard the album or those who heard the album, he basically discussed like, things niggas do. So whether it be bad, it seemed more in a negative light than a positive light, but like niggas gonna be niggas kind of thing if that was a song. You know how the person leaves the hood, and I wouldn't say forget about him. I wouldn't say that with Jeezy, but just like, when you see a new light, you like kind of look down upon things that made you who you are. So like at the same time, Jeezy saying all this stuff, but it's like you kind of like curated this in a way. And I'm a type of person that just like, bro, if it's a family matter, let's keep it in the house. That's two sitcoms. But like, you ain't gotta be on Front Street like, you know, niggas always gonna do this, niggas gonna do this, niggas gonna do that, niggas, because then it gives off a weird vibe to me. Even though it may be true, it still gives off a different vibe. Like, why disassociate yourself so hard? I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I like the message, but I don't like the message. I guess that's what art is for. Like, I'm conflicted because I say the same, like, niggas do the same shit, blah blah blah. But I wouldn't do that on national TV. Like, I wouldn't. I'm always gonna protect home, if that makes sense. Like, I'll fight. Internal is I'll fight. I don't know. That's just me. But he's an artist. He can do whatever he wants to do. I love the E40 verse on the ghetto. Going deeper into the album. Hold on, let me just say this. E40. E40 started his he just started off this his verse with like he said hot dogs and pork and beans, hot water, cornbread, and mustard greens. Like, he started like, it just rappers could be sometimes rappers can forget that you got to catch the ear of the consumer, like, no matter how crazy or what you're saying, like, long as you catch me and I gotta, it's so many songs with so many rappers, and you don't even listen to them. But if something stands out, that's one of the things that stood out to me, which I miss about rap as well. Niggas actually sounds like a Lupe hook. Like, it's a song on one of Lupe's albums where he be like, y'all niggas gonna lose. Like, one of those. I just had to throw that in there to edit. But going deeper into the album, Jeezy sounds unhungry. Like, it sounds like something he just wanted to get off his chest, or what he felt like he had to get off his chest. And it just don't. I'm not ready. This is ignorant. This is way ignorant. But I don't want to hear this from Jeezy. I'm gonna be truthfully honest with you. Like, it's certain people that I want to get those messages from, and it's some people that I don't want to get those messages from. Like, I could take this message from Jeezy if it was in an interview, blah blah blah. That might sound crazy, but just because a person's talking about something great and positive in music, don't make the music good. Like, at some point, the music has to still be good, if that makes sense. I love the message, but I don't love the music. So that's just like was a big gripe for me, especially naming it the Recession 2. And I think the first Recession is one of Jeezy's classic albums. So to name it that, I think I don't know. I think you kind of tarnish the legacy of the first one when you do stupid shit like this. Lil Duval has like become like a fucking singer. Like, he has Lil Duval in this album, like singing from this one, the Snoop song, the fucking 2 Chainz album. Lil Duval's actually made a transition into an artist. The Stimulus Check track, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is the Bobby Womack sample from 50 Cent's What If. I thought that was pretty. I just always loved that song. So when I heard it, it just brought me. I had to go listen to that song oddly. Then on one song, how you gonna say you don't fuck with the government, and then the next thing you fucking endorsing Joe Biden and helping him? That's just weird. The production on the album, it was cool. Justice League, Don Cannon, and 1500 or Nothing did majority of this album. 15 tracks. It's really not that much. And the first track that was released, Therapy for My Soul, I'm all with Expression. I feel like that didn't need to be there, to be truthfully honest. Like, I get it, but I feel like it didn't need to be on this album the way that it went. I feel like it was used for promotion. Like, I'm saying names, I'm dissing people, I'm dissing 50 Cent, I'm talking about BMF, I'm talking about Freddie Gibbs. It's like kind of old and just tacky at this point for somebody of Jeezy's stature. I just don't think that I don't know. I just don't feel like it was necessary, especially with the message you're trying to preach. Like you can't say on one end I'm about peace and love, and I want black people to be this, and then on other end just diss black people. It's just weird. Best songs, I'm gonna go with niggas, Deaf and Me, and Praying Right. Those are the ones that stood out to me the most. The Ross one is cool too. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. Worst song, I'm gonna go The Glory with Neo featured The Glory. That's gonna be the worst song. Favorite line, he said, "Your feet to the fire, nigga. Evolve or die. He telling you different. Your big homie's a fucking lie." And that line, it stood out to me because I was like, just growing up, uh, in my environment that I grew up in, uh, a lot of our older, I'll say, I wouldn't even call them OGs, but just old heads, they, I don't know, sometimes they kind of handicapped us in a way with thought process and unevolved thought process and big up the wrong things. So it kind of fucked us up. So him saying like, your feet to the fire, evolve or die. If he telling you different than your big homie a lot, nigga. Like I think, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff in those environments that were passed down that kind of cripple our thoughts. So that line made me think of that, and it really stood out to me. All right, how many fucks given to this album? I'm gonna give it 3. 3 out of 5.
Being black niggas like a modern day crime. Modern day crime.
In conclusion, in closing, saying in conclusion in words sounds funny. In closing, Jeezy, if you don't want to do rap no more, you don't have to do it. Like I don't think you. The album's cool, but it's to recall it Recession 2 is kind of extreme. You could have just called it Jeezy. You could have called it whatever your freaking name is in real life. You could have just called it something other than that. Something that you could have called it growth. Like you could have called it the progression. Like you could have called it anything. But Recession 2, I think you put a big target on it. And you know, it you know that it don't live up to the recession. Like you gotta know that. And maybe that wasn't your aim. Maybe your aim was just that the times in your head resembled those times. But as far as this album, it's just cool. It sounds a little bit dated. It sounds like, yeah, it just sounds a little bit dated to me in some of the, yeah, it just sounds dated. Some of the rap sound uninspired, and just because you got a good message doesn't make the music good. What did you think? Did you like this Jeezy album? What do you rank this in this catalog? What do you think some of the great songs on here were? Am I tripping? Am I being too overcritical because I'm a Jeezy fan and I love the Recession? Uh, Let me know in the comments. We can talk about it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But as always, I'm Tatum. Fuck this review.